Simyonim asurim yahi durmate yatheha bhuyo mahatam na karta putra kilbhisham. Venkat Narasimha Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Atha papi asim yonim asurim yahi durmetam yadheha bhuyo mahatam na karta putra kilbisham. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you. Madhumai Krishna Kant Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Ataha Papiyasim Yonim Asurim Yahi Durmate Yatheha Bhuyo Mahatam Nakarta Putra Kilvisham. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Krishna. Suramya Madhvi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam. Atah papiyasim yonim asurim yahi durmate yatheha bhuyo mahatam nakarta putra kilvisham. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Madhumati Vilasni Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranams Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Atah papiyasim yonim asurim yahi durmate yatheha bhuyo mahatamna karta putra kilbisham. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Chitra Mohini Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams Mataji. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya Atha Papiyasim Yonim Asurim Yahi Durmate Yateha Bhuyo Mahatam Nakarta Putra Kilbisham. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Repti Ratnangi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Ataha papiyasyo yoni masurim yahi durbate yeteha bhuya mahata nakarto putra kilbisham. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Pranandi Madhvi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranam Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Ataha papiyasim yonim asurim yahi durmate yatheha bhuya mahatam nakarta putra kilvisam. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Krishna. Vijay Kumari Mataji, Hare Krishna. Vijay Kumari Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranam Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Ada Papi Yasim Yonim Asirum Yahi Durmate Yadeha Bhuyo Magadamna Atta Putra Kilmisham. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Atha, therefore, Papi Yasim, most sinful, Yonim, to the species of life, Asurim, demoniac, Yahi, go, Durmate, O impudent one, Yatha, so that, Iha, in this world, Bhuya, again, Mahatam, to great personalities, Na, not Karta, will commit Putra, my dear son, Kilbhisham, any offense. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O impudent one, my dear son, now take birth in a low sinful family of demons, so that you will not commit such an offense again toward exalted saintly persons in this world. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One should be very careful not to commit offenses at the lotus feet of Vaishnavas, of whom Lord Shiva is the best. While instructing Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described an offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava as a hati mata, a mad elephant. When a mad elephant enters a nice garden, it spoils the entire garden. Similarly, if one becomes like a mad elephant and commits offenses at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, his entire spiritual career is halted. One should therefore be very careful not to commit offenses at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. Mother Parvati was justified in punishing Chitraketu, for Chitraketu impudently criticized the Supreme Father Mahadev, who is the father of the living entities conditioned within this material world. The goddess Durga is called Mother and Lord Shiva is called Father. A pure Vaishnava should be very careful to engage in his specific duty without criticizing others. This is the safest position. Otherwise, if one tends to criticize others, he may commit the great offense of criticizing a Vaishnava. Because Chitraketu was undoubtedly a Vaishnava, he might have been surprised that Parvati had cursed him. Therefore, the goddess Parvati addressed him as Putra or son. Everyone is the son of Mother Durga. But she is not an ordinary mother. As soon as there is a small discrepancy in a demon's behavior, Mother Durga immediately punishes the demon so that he may come to his senses. This is explained by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, verse 14. Devi hi esha gunamayi mama maya durattaya mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. To surrender to Krishna means to surrender to his devotees also. But for no one can be a proper servant of Krishna unless he is a proper servant of a devotee. Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nishtar Payeche Keva. Without serving a servant of Krishna, one cannot be elevated to being servant of Krishna himself. Therefore, Mother Parvati spoke to Chitraketu exactly like a mother who says to her naughty child, "My dear child, I am punishing you so that you won't do anything like this again." This tendency of a mother to punish her child is found even in Mother Yashoda, who became the mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mother Yashoda punished Krishna by binding him and showing him a stick. Thus, it is the duty of a mother to chastise her beloved son, even in the case of the Supreme Lord. It is to be understood that Mother Durga was justified in punishing Chitraketu. This punishment was a boon to Chitraketu because after taking birth as the demon Vritsasur, he was promoted directly to Vaikuntha. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyan Anjan Shalakaya Chakshurinmiltam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Sapadatiko. He Krishna Karna Sindhu Deenbandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namaste. Aptakanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishbhanuste Devi Pranamami Haripriya. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namni. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pachayane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paschatya Deshatayane. Let's start. O impudent one, my dear son, now take birth in a low sinful family of demons, so that you will not commit such an offense again toward exalted saintly persons in this world. Alright, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 6th Canto, Prescribed Duties for the Mankind, Chapter 17, which is entitled as
Mother
Mother Parvati
Parvati curses King Chitraketu.
Mother Parvati curses Chitraketu. So, Pranchitanya Prabhu must have, explained that what led to this, that Chitraketu was criticizing Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva understood that that criticism is so that it is not without the glorification of Lord Shiva, because it was just a gentle reminder that Lord Shiva is so exalted that whatever he'll do will become a standard of practice because he's so influential. So if he was worried that if he was internally, Lord Shiva is not affected by the behavior of having Mother Sati in his lap in the assembly of the sages. But people who don't have that elevation of understanding as the sages in the assembly did, right? The sages in the assembly were also exalted. That's why they were also not affected. But Chitraketu's concern was that somebody will get affected who is not the sage. So he criticized Lord Shiva for his outward behavior and reminded him of his exalted position and what kind of a behavior was expected of him, so that the people who are going to follow him can never reference to this particular behavior. The words he used were harsh. right? The kind of words that he worded together were harsh. Now we can say that this was the will of the Lord, because Mother Parvati had to get agitated and curse him. And then Mother Parvati started scolding him that he's thinking himself to be superior to the sages like Narad Muni, four Kumaras, right? Like all these sages are sitting, Manu, Kapila Muni, but they are not saying a word. But here comes Chitraketu because he got darshan of the Lord, so now he can give instructions to anybody because he had darshan of the Lord. So now he Brahma's law will not stand because Chitraketu is here. So basically she was mocking him. Yeah. So and then at the end she is saying to him this, that, "Oh impudent one, my dear son, now take birth in a low sinful family of demons." So there was one character of Chitraketu which was brought about in the purports, that Chitraketu did develop an element of pride because he had darshan of the Lord, which was very rare. So darshan of the Lord can also make us proud if we are not situated in the proper consciousness. And then another Vaishnava, like in his case, Lord Shiva, Mother Parvati, have to come to, because Krishna, after taking a darshan of Krishna, one gets purified. So any impurity will not be able to stay. It has to rub off. So in this case, Mother Parvati and Lord Shiva have to enter into Chitraketu's life so that this element of pride is also slashed out. Okay, and because Chitraketu is a devotee, he will be able to take it like that. Because he's a devotee, he will give so many instructions now. He's gonna speak so high elevation realizations from on the forthcoming verses, that how he's taking this curse, how he's accepting this curse. He actually gets down from his carrier and bows his head in front of Mother Parvati, seeks apology, and accepts the curse. And Prabhupada glorifies that as Trinadapi Sunichanatharoriva Sahishnana Manina Manina Kirtanastahari. Not that, he goes there and says that, what did I say wrong? Or he doesn't like start going back and forth, because he is very connected to the Krishna conscious reason behind all this. So that is the advantage of keeping the mind calm. The mind gets agitated even at the slightest agitation of the false ego. Like just a signal sends a signal to intelligence, and then to the mind, and then we get agitated. But if one is fixed in Krishna consciousness, then one gets instructions how to behave directly from the super soul. Like in his case. That is why if our mind is agitated at the time of hearing this pastime, we will not be able to make sense of what's happening. Okay, because this is not a norm. Okay, so this is for us to take home, that how am I understanding this pastime? Where am I going to apply this pastime in my life? Definitely, we discussed that tolerance does not mean encouraging bad behavior or encouraging an abuse. Humility does not mean that thinking of cultivating low self-worth. Does not mean that. Right? What it means is that tolerance means that I'm able to endure the ups and downs of life, provided I'm fixed in my goal of Krishna consciousness. Because the life travels up, down, up, down, up, down. But the path of Krishna consciousness is completely straight and it's laid out. So now we have to be able to catch hold of what is more important, even when the life is apparently taking us up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, like for example, if you're flying in the plane and there is some turbulence, the plane can start losing its streamlined flight in the air at the time, and then we feel like up and down, up and down, up and down. So what do? We just sit there. We just put our seat belts on and pray to Krishna and sit there for it to pass. Cannot do anything else. So it's like that, that when there is up and down turbulence coming in the life, then what do? Put the Krishna conscious seatbelt on and do what we can do. It's not that we're gonna just not do anything. No, we're not inertia. It's Krishna consciousness is not inertia. But at the same time, understand that my main goal is to become Krishna conscious. There is a bigger plan here, which I'm not able to understand. Because once I have taken to Krishna consciousness, there is no way that anything that's going to happen in my life and that lesson is to punish me. No, it is the purification. Devotee takes happiness and distress as a purification. I'm getting purified, not punishment. Person who is not in Krishna consciousness, they seek distress as punishment. You know, like what punishment is God giving me now? We have had hard life like this, or when there is a happiness, then there is so much of elation, like some sort of a reward being given. But a devotee, both situations, happiness and distress, is purification. So now the purification has come in front of me, in front of this, in the shape of this happiness, and then the other one comes in the shape of this distress. Not that we don't feel our feelings, not that we don't feel angry or agitated or sad, or even grief, but this particular principle stands straight. You know, it's not that easy though. We need association of devotees to be able to remind us. And before, you know, Krishna brings another exam in the form of happiness or distress, we must make our practice of Krishna consciousness very staunch and determined, because then we'll be able to understand and make sense of what's happening. My Guru had sent email a few months ago that one of the couples, I don't remember which country it was, he sent the email that this particular couple lost their young son. He died. So say that he wanted all of us to reach out to those couple as a service to him, because the parents are on the verge of leaving their bodies because they don't find any reason to live after the son has passed away. They can't make sense of what happened. So lots of devotees reached out. So we must reach out, or we must ask for help, because of these things, the thing that nobody will understand. Everybody goes through the same thing, no matter where we live. Okay, everybody. I've seen so many people across the world now. It's like everybody, rich or poor, or, you know, educated or not educated, or young or adult or older, everybody is going through the same kinds of suffering. Then how is it that we cannot understand other person? It's just the effort to reach out and also to ask for help. So I would say don't hold back. And I was also thinking today, you see, the devotees who have dedicated their lives to practice of Krishna consciousness, especially those devotees who are dedicated 100% and are actually living in the temple or are thinking of moving in the temple. Not that we are exempt from it. We also have the responsibility. We have a very exclusive and very important responsibility to help the people in general. Like, for example, when somebody is ill and they go to see a doctor, they go to see the doctor because, is it not that they have this faith that this doctor will be able to understand my illness more than I can? Yeah? You go to
Yes, ma'am.
see a doctor. There is
Yes.
this faith in the heart, right, of the person who's going, this particular doctor will be able to diagnose my illness and help me regain my health. So there is a responsibility on the shoulder of the practicing physician to meet that need. meet their expectation. Like that, we practicing people, practicing Krishna consciousness, knowing a little bit more than a very new person, and especially person who is living in the temple, have this responsibility to help others. But what we do is, because we are not mature ourselves, is we start finding fault. We start actually saving ourselves from not associating with these people, because if I associate with these people, then my Krishna consciousness will, because they are karmis and I am a devotee. You see, so we actually are running away from our responsibilities. So acharyas are not encouraging that. They are saying reach out. Okay, and the strength is in following the instruction. The strength is not in following something which is the mind is saying. The strength is over there. So by these pastimes, like the acharyas are reaching out to us, that how are you taking your life's ups and downs that has been brought by the course of life. It could be Krishna's mercy, it could be karma, doesn't matter, but it has come now. Only thing that you can change is your response. So how are you taking it? Think about it. Yeah, I'm also thinking, how am I thinking? Am I taking, if I feel insulted or rejected by people that I thought will not do, but it happens, then what do I say? What do I do? Never look at them again, or process it as a loving hand of Krishna. What will help me is the question. Because I said in the turbulence, what remains stable is my practice of Krishna consciousness. So this turbulence should not be able to shake that practice. Then only we'll be able to carry out our responsibility towards others. Otherwise, if we get shaken and we get succumbed and our own practice is suffering, then it's not possible. Then we are patient ourselves. I think I'll stop here. Any questions, reflections, realizations, corrections?